In a world driven by loud voices and constant validation, the most profound power often resides in silence. Destroy their ego. Silently unveils how true dominance is not asserted through words, but through quiet, unwavering confidence that leaves no room for doubt. Human interactions often unfold as subtle battles of ego, a quiet war where pride seeks recognition and validation. In many cases, these encounters escalate, driven by the need to assert dominance or prove superiority. However, the most effective and transformative way to counter an inflated ego is not through confrontation, but through silence. This is not the silence of avoidance or resignation, but a deliberate, strategic stillness, grounded in self-mastery and emotional intelligence. Silence, when used with intention, shifts the balance of power in interactions. It interrupts the cycle of ego-driven exchanges, forcing the other party to confront their own words and behavior without the fuel of reaction. By choosing silence, we communicate confidence, control, and a refusal to engage in fruitless conflict. This quiet strength redirects the flow of conversation, guiding it toward resolution, understanding, and mutual respect. Mastering oneself is the cornerstone of navigating life with unwavering confidence, resilience, and clarity of purpose. It serves as the foundational pillar upon which personal growth, meaningful relationships, and impactful achievements are built. Without the anchor of self-mastery, individuals are often left adrift, swayed by fleeting emotions, external pressures, and the weight of societal expectations. To truly master oneself is to reclaim control over the intricate interplay of thoughts, emotions, and actions. It involves transforming the internal chaos that frequently clouds our judgment into a clear, deliberate intention. This transformation is not a singular event, but a lifelong journey of introspection, discipline, and conscious effort. Every step taken towards self-mastery equips us with the tools to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges, rather than reacting impulsively from a place of fear, anger, or insecurity. At its core, self-mastery is about developing an intimate understanding of one's inner world. This begins with cultivating a heightened sense of self-awareness. Without this awareness, we risk being strangers to our own motivations, triggers, and desires. Self-awareness shines a light on the subconscious patterns that dictate our behaviors, allowing us to identify both our strengths and the areas that require growth. This process often demands brutal honesty, a willingness to confront aspects of ourselves that we might prefer to ignore or suppress. Yet it is within this discomfort that the seeds of profound personal growth are sown. Self-mastery also entails the ability to regulate emotions with grace and composure. Emotions, while powerful and vital, can sometimes cloud judgment and lead to decisions that do not serve our highest interests. Mastering emotions means acknowledging them, understanding their roots, and choosing how to respond. The ability to remain calm amidst chaos, to resist the pull of anger, and to refuse to let fear dictate one's choices is a testament to emotional resilience. This skill alone can radically transform how we engage with the world, fostering stronger relationships and enabling more constructive problem solving. Discipline stands as another critical pillar of self-mastery. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, the capacity to delay gratification and stay aligned with long-term goals becomes invaluable. Discipline is not about harsh self-denial, but rather about prioritizing actions that align with our greater vision for the future. It empowers us to make decisions rooted in logic, reason, and foresight, rather than being led astray by fleeting desires or momentary comfort. Those who cultivate discipline become architects of their own destiny, crafting lives that reflect their highest aspirations and values. Moreover, establishing and maintaining personal boundaries is essential for mastering oneself. Boundaries serve as safeguards that protect our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They reflect a deep respect for our own needs and ensure that we do not deplete ourselves by overcommitting or engaging in unhealthy dynamics. Learning to say no, stepping away from toxic environments, and prioritizing self-care are all acts of self-mastery that preserve our energy and focus. By enforcing personal boundaries, we teach others how to treat us and foster relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. An often overlooked aspect of self-mastery is the practice of silencing the inner critic. That persistent voice that casts doubt on our abilities and undermines our confidence can become a significant barrier to growth. Mastering oneself involves challenging and reprogramming these negative internal narratives, replacing them with affirmations of self-worth and capability. Our thoughts shape our reality, and by fostering a positive internal dialogue, we set the stage for success and fulfillment. Self-mastery is not about perfection, but progress. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when old patterns resurface. However, each challenge provides an opportunity to learn, recalibrate, and grow stronger. The pursuit of self-mastery is a continuous, evolving process that demands patience, compassion, and unwavering commitment to becoming the best version of oneself. In essence, those who embark on the path of self-mastery gain not only control over their internal landscape, but also the ability to influence the external world in profound ways. They become resilient, adaptable, and grounded individuals capable of navigating life's complexities with grace and confidence. Through the lens of self-mastery, challenges become stepping stones, and life itself transforms into a canvas upon which we can paint our most authentic and empowered selves. At the very core of self-mastery lies the indispensable quality of self-awareness. This is not a fleeting glance into one's thoughts or the occasional contemplation of personal goals, but a deliberate and continuous journey into understanding the intricacies of one's own mind, emotions, and behavioral patterns. True self-awareness extends far beyond surface-level introspection. It demands a deep and ongoing commitment to uncover the underlying motivations that drive our actions, the triggers that provoke our reactions, and the habits that shape the trajectory of our lives. To cultivate genuine self-awareness is to embark on a path of unfiltered honesty. This honesty, while transformative, is rarely comfortable. It often requires facing aspects of ourselves that we would rather leave buried: our insecurities, our fears, and the unresolved experiences that subtly shape how we engage with the world. Yet within this confrontation lies profound potential for growth. It is only by peeling back the layers of denial and self-deception that we can truly gain insight into the forces that govern our choices. Without this essential clarity, we remain trapped in cycles of unconscious behavior, reacting impulsively to circumstances rather than responding with intention and purpose. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of meaningful personal development. Mastery begins with a deep understanding of our internal landscape. This involves recognizing strengths and limitations, accepting these insights without judgment, confronting patterns that hinder growth. Acknowledging weaknesses is not a sign of inadequacy, but a critical step toward becoming more capable and resilient. By shining a light on these areas, we give ourselves the opportunity to transform perceived flaws into avenues for improvement and self-empowerment. One of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of self-awareness is identifying and deconstructing subconscious patterns that have taken root over years, often as a result of upbringing, social conditioning, or past experiences. These patterns, left unchecked, can quietly dictate how we respond to stress, how we approach relationships, and even how we perceive success and failure. For instance, someone who unconsciously seeks validation may consistently overcommit or avoid conflict to please others, sacrificing their own well-being in the process. Through the lens of self-awareness, such tendencies are brought to the surface, allowing for intentional shifts that align with authentic desires rather than automatic responses. Moreover, self-awareness enhances emotional intelligence, a cornerstone of effective communication and relationship building. When we become attuned to our emotional triggers, we cultivate the ability to pause, reflect, and choose our responses rather than reacting impulsively. This not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also strengthens our capacity for empathy, enabling us to better understand the perspectives and emotions of others. As a result, self-awareness acts as a bridge, fostering deeper connections and reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings and strained interactions. In professional settings, self-awareness serves as a catalyst for leadership and personal success. Leaders who possess a clear understanding of their strengths and areas for growth are better equipped to inspire confidence and trust in their teams. They recognize the importance of delegating tasks that fall outside their areas of expertise and demonstrate humility by seeking input from others. This transparency not only strengthens team dynamics, but also creates an environment of psychological safety, where others feel encouraged to voice their ideas and concerns without fear of judgment. Furthermore, self-awareness is instrumental in decision-making. It sharpens our ability to differentiate between decisions driven by impulse or external pressure and those that genuinely align with our values and long-term aspirations. By grounding decisions in a well-defined sense of self, we reduce the risk of veering off course or pursuing paths that ultimately lead to dissatisfaction. This internal clarity provides a steady compass, guiding us through uncertainty and ensuring that our choices reflect who we truly are and who we strive to become. The journey towards self-awareness, however, is not linear. There will be moments of resistance as old habits and defense mechanisms resurface in the face of discomfort. This is a natural part of the process. Growth often occurs in cycles, and the deeper we delve into self-exploration, the more layers we uncover. Embracing this cyclical nature allows for a more compassionate approach to personal development, one that acknowledges setbacks as valuable learning experiences rather than failures. Practical methods for enhancing self-awareness include mindfulness practices, journaling, and seeking feedback from trusted mentors or peers. Mindfulness, in particular, anchors us in the present moment, providing a clearer window into our thoughts and emotions without the haze of distraction. Journaling offers a reflective space to explore recurring themes and patterns in our lives, while external feedback provides valuable perspectives that we may overlook in our self-assessment. Self-awareness is the gateway to living a life of authenticity and fulfillment. It empowers us to break free from the constraints of unconscious behavior and align our actions with our core values. In doing so, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Through the practice of self-awareness, we unlock our greatest potential, equipping ourselves to navigate life's complexities with grace, resilience, and unwavering clarity. Discipline stands as one of the most essential and unwavering pillars of self-mastery. It is not a practice of self-denial or rigid austerity, but rather a conscious effort to align one's daily actions with long-term aspirations and deeply held values. True discipline does not restrict, it liberates. By cultivating discipline, individuals gain the freedom to pursue meaningful goals without being constantly derailed by fleeting desires or external distractions. It transforms abstract ambitions into tangible results, enabling us to become the architects of our own lives, shaping them with intention, perseverance, and resilience. At its core, discipline is about fostering the ability to delay gratification in a world driven by instant rewards and quick solutions. The capacity to forego immediate pleasure in exchange for future success becomes a rare but invaluable trait. Discipline teaches us that true rewards are often the product of sustained effort, patience, and unwavering commitment. Whether pursuing career milestones, personal development, or physical health, discipline ensures that we stay the course even when progress feels slow or the results are not immediately visible. The small, consistent efforts we invest each day compound over time, ultimately yielding outcomes far greater than the sum of their parts. However, discipline is not simply about persistence. It is also about clarity and alignment. It requires a clear understanding of our long-term goals and the ability to prioritize actions that lead us closer to those objectives. Without this alignment, discipline risks becoming aimless effort, work without direction or purpose. By consistently revisiting and refining our goals, we ensure that our actions remain tethered to a vision that resonates with our values and aspirations. In this way, discipline becomes a tool not of restriction, but of empowerment, propelling us toward the life we envision for ourselves. Another critical facet of discipline is the capacity to make decisions grounded in logic and foresight rather than emotion or convenience. Emotions, while valuable, can often cloud judgment, leading to impulsive choices that diverge from our greater objectives. Discipline acts as an internal compass, guiding us through the turbulence of emotional highs and lows, ensuring that our decisions are made from a place of rationality and strategic thinking. It strengthens the mental fortitude necessary to resist short-term temptations, anchoring us in the pursuit of sustained progress. Moreover, discipline cultivates resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. In moments of failure or discouragement, discipline serves as the force that compels us to rise, adapt, and continue forward. It instills a sense of responsibility for our growth and success, fostering the belief that while circumstances may be beyond our control, our actions and responses are not. This resilience not only accelerates recovery, but also deepens our capacity to navigate adversity with grace and perseverance. A life built upon the foundation of discipline is marked by consistency, but it is also enriched by flexibility. Discipline does not demand rigidity. Instead, it encourages adaptability while maintaining focus. There are times when plans must be adjusted or paths recalibrated, but disciplined individuals understand the difference between shifting course and abandoning their goals. This balance between structure and adaptability ensures that discipline remains sustainable, allowing for growth and evolution without compromising long-term vision. In practical terms, developing discipline often begins with small, incremental changes. Establishing routines, setting realistic and measurable goals, and creating environments that minimize distractions are all foundational steps in cultivating a disciplined mindset. Each small victory, whether adhering to a morning routine, completing a task despite fatigue, or choosing healthy habits over instant gratification, reinforces the belief in one's ability to exert control over life's direction. Over time, these seemingly minor habits solidify into an unshakable sense of self-trust and confidence, reinforcing the power of discipline as a transformative force. In relationships, discipline manifests as emotional regulation, patience, and the ability to prioritize long-term harmony over momentary disagreements. It encourages us to listen with empathy, communicate with clarity, and invest time and energy into fostering deeper connections. Through disciplined actions, we demonstrate respect and care for those around us, nurturing relationships built on trust, integrity, and mutual growth. Emotional regulation stands as one of the most formidable yet essential pillars of self-mastery. As human beings, we are deeply emotional creatures, driven by a complex interplay of feelings that shape our perceptions, decisions, and interactions. While emotions are intrinsic to our experience and serve vital roles in connecting us to others and guiding our instincts, they can also cloud judgment and lead to impulsive actions. Mastering the art of emotional regulation is not about suppressing or denying the existence of emotions, but rather cultivating a deeper understanding of their roots, validating their presence, and consciously managing their influence on our behavior. To regulate emotions effectively, one must first embrace the reality that emotions, both positive and negative, are inevitable and necessary. Anger, fear, joy, and sadness are not inherently good or bad. They are signals, reflections of our inner world and external circumstances. The goal is not to eliminate these feelings, but to engage with them in a way that allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react instinctively. Emotional regulation, at its core, is about creating space between the stimulus and the response, allowing for deliberate and measured actions that align with our values and long-term goals. One of the foundational steps in mastering emotional regulation is developing emotional intelligence. This involves recognizing and labeling emotions as they arise, understanding their triggers, and tracing their origins. For example, anger may surface in response to perceived injustice, while fear may stem from uncertainty or the potential for failure. By dissecting these emotional responses, we gain insight into the deeper narratives and belief systems that influence our reactions. This heightened awareness enables us to intercept impulsive tendencies, replacing them with choices rooted in clarity and reason. Crucially, emotional regulation extends beyond personal well-being and significantly enhances interpersonal relationships. In the absence of this skill, misunderstandings, overreactions, and unresolved tensions can strain even the most meaningful connections. By regulating our emotions, we cultivate empathy and patience, allowing us to listen with intention and communicate with sensitivity. This not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also nurtures trust and mutual respect. When we approach conversations with emotional steadiness, we create an environment where others feel safe to express themselves, strengthening the fabric of our relationships. The practice of emotional regulation also fosters greater alignment between our internal state and external actions. It ensures that our responses reflect our true intentions rather than fleeting emotional surges. This alignment is vital in professional settings, where emotional outbursts can undermine credibility and disrupt collaboration. Leaders in particular benefit immensely from mastering this skill, as their ability to regulate emotions sets the tone for their teams and influences organizational culture. A leader who demonstrates calmness under pressure and maintains composure during crises inspires confidence, reinforcing stability and unity within their sphere of influence. Emotional regulation is a transformative practice that unlocks higher levels of self-awareness, resilience, and interpersonal harmony. It is a skill that not only shapes how we experience the world, but also influences how the world experiences us. By mastering our emotions, we step into a place of greater personal power, equipped to lead, connect, and thrive in a way that is reflective of our highest potential. To set boundaries effectively is to engage in the delicate art of balance, recognizing our capacity while honoring our limitations. This practice often begins internally, by cultivating the awareness necessary to identify when we are overextending ourselves, engaging in unhealthy habits, or investing in environments that drain our spirit. Knowing when to say no, even to seemingly enticing opportunities, is an essential step in preserving our sense of purpose and direction. Without clear boundaries, we risk scattering our energy across too many endeavors, diluting our focus, and diminishing our overall well-being. Setting personal boundaries requires deep introspection and honesty. It calls for an acknowledgement of our own vulnerabilities and the recognition that limitless availability or relentless productivity does not equate to value or worth. In fact, the absence of boundaries can often lead to burnout, resentment, and feelings of being overwhelmed. By clearly defining what we will and will not tolerate, whether in relationships, professional environments, or within our own habits, we create a framework that promotes sustainability and growth. However, boundary setting is not solely about avoidance or rejection. It is equally about embracing and protecting the positive forces that contribute to our personal fulfillment. Boundaries encourage us to carve out space for rest, creativity, and the relationships that uplift us. They ensure that we remain grounded in our values and intentional in our commitments. For example, establishing boundaries around work-life balance reinforces the importance of downtime, fostering greater productivity and emotional resilience in the long run. Moreover, the act of honoring boundaries sends a powerful message to those around us. When we consistently uphold our limits with calm and conviction, we model self-respect and demonstrate the importance of mutual consideration. This, in turn, influences how others engage with us, reinforcing healthier, more balanced relationships. People are less likely to take advantage of our time or energy when they recognize that we are firm yet fair in preserving our personal space. Importantly, establishing boundaries does not require harshness or confrontation. It can be done with grace and empathy, allowing for open communication and understanding. Expressing personal limits with kindness invites cooperation rather than conflict. For instance, clearly communicating that certain hours are dedicated to family or personal growth can foster respect and cooperation from colleagues and loved ones. Boundaries, when articulated thoughtfully, nurture environments of trust and mutual respect. The boundaries we set with ourselves are perhaps the most transformative. This involves curbing self-destructive behaviors, resisting the allure of distractions, and holding ourselves accountable to the goals we seek to achieve. These internal boundaries shape the daily habits that define our lives, whether it's limiting screen time, committing to regular exercise, or fostering a disciplined approach to personal development. In many ways, self-discipline and boundary setting are intrinsically linked, reinforcing one another to foster long-term growth and stability. One of the most significant challenges in establishing boundaries lies in overcoming the fear of disappointing others. Many individuals hesitate to assert their limits out of concern for being perceived as unkind or selfish. However, it is essential to remember that setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but one of self-preservation. It reflects a commitment to honoring our own needs, ensuring that we have the capacity to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Boundaries also evolve over time. As our circumstances, goals, and values shift, so too must the limits we establish. Regular reflection and reassessment ensure that our boundaries remain aligned with our current priorities and aspirations. This fluidity allows us to adapt to life's changes while maintaining a sense of balance and control. In essence, establishing boundaries is a profound act of self-love and empowerment. It grants us the freedom to invest our energy where it matters most, fostering environments that support our highest potential. Through the consistent practice of setting and respecting boundaries, we pave the way for greater peace, fulfillment, and resilience in every aspect of our lives. Silence serves as one of the most potent yet understated tools in establishing boundaries that command respect and preserve personal energy. In a world where constant noise, opinions, and arguments vie for our attention, the conscious choice to remain silent can send a powerful and deliberate message. It reflects not weakness or passivity, but strength and self-assurance, a refusal to seek validation in every interaction or defend oneself unnecessarily. By embracing silence, we communicate that our worth is not dictated by external approval and that not every disagreement or critique merits a response. The ability to hold one's tongue in moments of conflict or provocation is an act of self-respect and emotional maturity. It signals that we do not allow others to control our reactions or drain our energy through fruitless exchanges. This restraint transforms silence into a boundary, a line that quietly but firmly asserts our right to disengage from negativity, gossip, or unproductive dialogue. In doing so, we reclaim authority over our mental space, preserving it for pursuits and conversations that contribute to our growth and well-being. Moreover, silence disrupts societal norms that often equate loudness with power or influence. In many environments, there exists an implicit belief that to be heard, one must speak frequently, assertively, and sometimes aggressively. Choosing silence in such a setting becomes an act of quiet rebellion, a testament to the belief that presence and influence do not require constant verbal expression. It cultivates an aura of mystery and thoughtfulness, often compelling others to listen more attentively when words are finally spoken. Silence also creates room for deeper reflection and introspection. In the absence of immediate response, we gain the clarity needed to assess situations with a level head, formulating more measured and impactful replies when necessary. This thoughtful approach prevents impulsive reactions driven by anger or frustration, reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings and regrets. Practicing silence as a boundary does not mean disengaging entirely or avoiding meaningful dialogue. Rather, it is about discerning when to engage and when to withdraw, applying energy where it yields positive outcomes, and stepping back when participation leads to diminishing returns. In relationships, this can manifest as pausing during heated moments, allowing emotions to settle before addressing concerns. In professional environments, it may take the form of withholding unnecessary explanations, trusting that our competence and actions speak louder than words. The ability to wield silence effectively enhances our sense of autonomy and fortifies our personal boundaries. It reflects a deep confidence in our intrinsic value, independent of external validation. By choosing when to speak and when to remain silent, we shape our interactions with intention, reinforcing a sense of control and reinforcing the respect we command from others. In both professional and social environments, silence possesses a unique ability to cultivate an air of mystery and intrigue. Those who choose to speak less, but with intention and clarity, often command more attention and respect than those who speak frequently without purpose. This restraint in communication signals confidence, self-assuredness, and a keen sense of discernment. By carefully selecting moments to contribute, silent individuals create a noticeable presence, one that draws others in, compelling them to pay closer attention when words are finally spoken. Silence, when used effectively, positions individuals as thoughtful and observant. In meetings or social gatherings, those who refrain from unnecessary chatter are often perceived as deep thinkers, weighing their words carefully before expressing their perspectives. This sense of deliberation can elevate one's status, suggesting maturity, patience, and a calm sense of control. Others naturally begin to project their assumptions onto the silent figure, attributing qualities such as intelligence, leadership, or even wisdom, simply because their restraint stands out in a sea of constant noise. Moreover, silence creates space for others to reveal themselves. In conversations, pauses can prompt others to speak more openly, allowing deeper insights and valuable information to surface. This dynamic enhances one's ability to influence by positioning silence as a tool for listening and gathering knowledge, skills that strengthen both leadership and interpersonal relationships. By embracing silence as a strategic asset, individuals cultivate an aura of quiet leadership, one that commands attention and respect without the need for overt dominance. Silence stands as a profound reflection of inner strength, embodying confidence and self-assurance in its purest form. To embrace silence is to demonstrate trust in one's ability to navigate life without the constant need for validation or explanation. It signifies a quiet but unshakable belief that actions and presence often speak louder than words. In a world that frequently rewards noise and visibility, the choice to remain silent becomes an act of resilience and self-mastery. Wielding silence wisely allows individuals to convey strength without resorting to confrontation or elaborate justification. This subtle power shapes interactions, setting boundaries and fostering deeper respect from others. Silence does not indicate passivity, but signals the courage to stand firm in one's values and decisions. Over time, this practice reinforces emotional stability and cultivates lasting influence in both personal and professional realms. Ultimately, silence is not an absence, but a force, an enduring presence that shapes perceptions, commands respect, and unlocks the path to personal empowerment.